What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So even though it's only a handful of games that have been played for most teams as of right now, a couple of young guys have been very impressive early on, putting up around point per game or even above that in their first couple games. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to go through some of those guys. For example, we're going to look at Krill Marchenko, Anton Lander, Brent Clark, Jake Sanderson, and tell you whether or not I would buy or sell their early success in terms of them having a breakout season. Obviously, these guys aren't going to maintain point per game throughout the entire season. They're going to slow down to a degree, but do I think that a forward's going to have 65 points, or is he really going to taper off and finish around 45 to 50? Is the breakout truly happening this season? So yeah, no rookies. Most of these players are going to be either second or third year guys, but without further ado, let's get into it. And up first, we got a Calgary Flame in Conor Zari, who has 2 goals, 3 assists in 5 games. I get called a Flames hater a decent amount. I'm going to buy this, though. I'm going to buy it. When looking at Conor Zari, he's playing 18.34 a night thus far, which I think is going to maintain around that rate. When looking at it last year, he only played 15.14, and he had 34 points in 63 games, just around 44-point pace. So I could easily see, considering the fact that he's also playing on that top power play, he is technically on the third line, but like all of Calgary's lines are interchangeable for the most part. He's playing with Blake Coleman and Mikael Backlund, but I could see him top power play, playing 18.30 a night. I could see him going for 60. I could see him going for 65 points. When looking at it, he is clearly the top young forward on the Flames roster as of right now, and probably within their entire organization after such the impressive rookie year that he had. So yeah, I still don't think the Flames are going to be sniffing the playoffs. I still think that they're going to be below 81 points, or I'm not as confident as I was before the season. I don't think they're going to be that good of a team, but I think Conor Zari's breakout is really going to emerge, and I need to see more people talking about him. Sheamus Casey, he has 3 goals, 1 assist, and for 4 points in 7 games right now. I'm selling this start, though. I think this start is fake as hell, especially as a defenseman to have 3 goals. That's kind of fluky. It's not only just that, going back to Conor Zari playing 18.30 a night, you got Sheamus Casey playing just 12.35 a night. Some people are saying that he's a legit Calder candidate. If you're a defenseman playing 12 minutes a night, and most recently he only played 10 minutes and 3 seconds against the Ottawa Senators, he's not a legit guy. And especially once Luke Hughes comes back in the lineup, I think someone else might draw out, but his time's only going to go down. Very talented guy. In a couple years, he's going to be a legit stud offensive second pairing guy for the New Jersey Devils. But this year, I could see him spending some time in Utica. I could see him, which might honestly be better for his development. Just let him play 20, 22 minutes a night. But Sheamus Casey, this is definitely a little bit of a fluky start. He is not a legit threat for the Calder Trophy. Krill Marchenko, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points in 4 games. I'm buying this, even though I'm still low on the Columbus Blue Jackets on a team. As a team, when looking at that top line of Sean Monahan, Chinnikov, and Marchenko, I made a TikTok video on it earlier before. Right now, they're the best line in hockey, which I don't think is obviously going to stay. But when looking at it, they've outscored opponents in terms of 5-on-5, 5 goals to 1, and their expected goals numbers are absolutely insane, having an 82.9% expected goal share. And Marchenko is playing more. Again, when talking about breakouts, really the opportunity is sometimes more important than their actual play. Marchenko has gone up from 16.25 a night to 18.21. I think, I said it before the season, I think 30-30 is very realistic, and I think that's roughly what I projected him at. He has hit 20 goals last season. I think his assist numbers are going to bounce up a little bit this year because he's playing with more talent. I think Krill Marchenko is going to have a massive season. I also would buy Chinnikov having a big season if I'm hyping up Marchenko like this. And as a result, I'm buying the early hype on Marchenko. Anton Lander, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points in 4 games. I'm actually going to sell this. I'm not going to lie. Although he has been very good in the absence of Alexander Barkov. Again, when talking about the opportunity, it's not like Barkov's out months. He's probably going to be back in a week or 2. So I think he's probably going to get demoted back down to that third line. And when looking at the success that he's had, it's been very impressive. He played very good against the Vancouver Canucks with Luosterainen and Reinhart. They are outscoring opponents 4-1 right now. The underlying numbers aren't as impressive, with only a 48% expected goal share right now and only generating 1.54 expected goals per 60 right now. He's not on the top power play right now, even with Barkov out of the lineup. I think he's definitely going to go north of 35 points that he had last year, but I'd say like 45 to 50 is probably realistic, just given the opportunity. Not sure he's going to leapfrog a guy like Sam Bennett. I don't think he's going to be going for north of 55 points or something like that. Just not that much of a long runway for him to really rack up points in the next couple weeks, with Barkov returning rather soon. Dylan Guenther, 5 goals, 1 assist in 5 5 games thus far. I am buying it. Obviously not buying it for him to continue at goal per game, but I think 35 and 35 is honestly pretty realistic and pretty damn possible at this point when looking at what he put up last year. I've mentioned it so many times, 17 goals, 18 assists for 35 points in 45 games. So this is even like that much of a breakout. Last year, he was around 30 and 30 pace. Yes, 2 of his goals have been power play goals, but in terms of expected goals, I believe he's 5th in the entire NHL right now with 3.1. So yeah, obviously, not goal per game, but he has been generating a bunch of opportunities. The ice time does scare me a little bit. He's only playing 14.47 right now, but he is on that top power play. And again, a guy like Logan Cooley, you can also lump in that I'm buying Logan Cooley taking a decent jump. I think that line is really going to click with Cooley and McBain, and it has thus far. So as a result, I am buying the early hot start from Dylan Guenther. Brent Clark, 4 assists in 5 games thus far. I'm selling Brent Clark, though. When looking at it, 3 of those assists have come on the power play. And going back to the time on ice, he's only playing 17, 18 a night. Guys like Gavrikov and Anderson are really eating up all the minutes, even though they're left-handed defensemen. They're eating up all the minutes with Drew Doughty out, and even Jordan Spence is still playing more than him. Yes, he is on that top power play. I think Brent Clark is going to be around 30-ish points, but in terms of a true breakout, star 40, 45-plus points, I don't really see it happening based on the opportunities that they're giving him. And Doughty is coming back in like January. He's only out 2 to 3 months. It's not like an entire season thing. Thankfully, it wasn't an Achilles injury. I think Brent Clark's going to be an amazing player down the line, but this season, we're just going to see him around 30 to 35 points, and then maybe the following season, he'll start chipping away at Drew Doughty's minutes and eventually become the number 1 defenseman. I'm still very high on him overall with the LA Kings. Philip Broberg, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in 5 games. I'm going to sell when looking at Philip Broberg. Think he can be a 25 to 30 point defenseman, but he's only playing 19-21 a night, which is a distant 4th on that St. Louis Blues team behind Parayko, behind Falk, behind Nicoletti, who are playing between like 22 and 24 minutes a night. He's on that second power play, not on that top power play. And in terms of him and Falk, they have outscored opponents 2-1 when they're on the ice together, but the underlying numbers are pretty bad at 43.7%. I think that this is kind of just new team, energized, excited to be on the St. Louis Blues. Nice little bump to get going, but I think he's probably going to come back down to earth and be like a 25 to 30 point guy, which would still be a solid season considering the fact they only gave up a 2nd round pick for him, and he's still only 23 years old. But Philip Broberg, not sure a breakout's going to happen this season. Jake Sanderson, easy buy, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points in 4 games. He's playing 25-34 a night. He has fully assumed the role as the Ottawa Senators' number 1 defenseman, like I expected, especially considering Shabbat has not been that good to start this season. He's on that top power play. A lot of his points have come on that top power play, but his even strength numbers are also very solid, like they have been for the last 2 to 3 years. The offense is finally going to be there. I think people agree he's already a very good 2-way guy, but that offense really hasn't clicked. Last year, he only had like 38, 39 points. I'm fully expecting like 55 points this season. Maybe that's too far, but I think he's going to have a monster season, and people are going to start seriously putting him in top 20 defensemen in the entire NHL debates. When looking at it, I am very high in Jake Sanderson. I've been very high in Jake Sanderson, and as a result, I am buying this early start. Barrett Hayden, lastly, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points in 4 games. I'm also buying Barrett Hayden like Dylan Guenther. When looking at Barrett Hayden, it's maybe not him actually being like a true number 1 center on the Utah Hockey Club, but when looking at the line mates that he has in Clayton Keller, who is a star, and Nick Schmaltz, who is also a very good offensive producer, when looking at this line, Barrett Hayden struggled last year, only had 10 points in 33 games. He did shoot 4.5%, had very unfortunate puck luck. When looking at them in 2023, though, they had a 61.5 goals percentage throughout the entire season in like over 450 minutes on not that good of an Arizona Coyotes team, and their even strength expected goals percentage was 58.7. And to close out the 2023 season, Barrett Hayden had 14 goals, 15 assists for 29 points in his last 35 games. So if he can get back on track like that, like he has early on in this season, I could easily see him having like 60, 65 points this season. Again, if he didn't have a guy like Clayton Keller or someone like Nick Schmaltz on his wing, I would not be talking about him this high, but I am definitely buying in on Barrett Hayden having it is a breakout season considering his career has only 40, but definitely having a bounce back season similarly to that back half of the 2023 season. Now, when looking at some other guys like Caulfield and Boldy, I'm obviously buying their breakouts because I've been so high on them, but I didn't really think I had to explain it that much. Let me know in the comments if there's any other guys that you think that are going to keep up with this pace or just completely slow down and it's all just fugazi. Should I do this with some other more experienced players? I'm definitely going to do this with teams, whether I think they're fake or not, probably like Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this video? Who you high on, who you low on? And I will be seeing you in the next one.